He was already in the kitchen when I came home. 91 years old. The name is Vera, though most people have taken to calling me V, and I stopped correcting them sometime around my 75th birthday. He had been staying with me since January. My grandnephew, my sister's daughter's son, which is far enough down the line that I probably should have said no at the beginning, but there it was. He needed a place. I had the room. That's how it starts. You have the room. The first few weeks were fine. He kept to himself mostly. I kept to myself. We'd pass each other in the hallway and nod the way you do with someone you're trying to be polite around. He did the dishes twice. I noticed. I was grateful. Thought, well, this might be all right. Then the weeks got longer. He started sleeping past 10, then past noon. I'd come downstairs in the morning to make my tea, and the kitchen would still have last night's dishes in it, and I'd stand there looking at them and not say anything, 'cause I didn't want to start the day that way. I'd just wash them myself and set them in the rack and go sit by the window. That became my morning. I'd stand at that sink longer than I needed to. The window above it looks out at the side yard. There's a bird feeder out there that I've had for years, a wooden one, painted red, though the paint has mostly gone now. My husband put it up. That was a long time ago. I don't think about that usually. But in the mornings, standing at the sink with someone else's dishes, I'd find myself watching that feeder and thinking about things I hadn't thought about in years. Not sad things, necessarily. Just old things. The way the house used to sound when it was full. The way it sounded after it emptied out again. And how I got used to that and came to like it. The particular quiet of a house that is yours alone. I dry my hands on the dish towel and go sit by the window and drink my tea and not think about the dishes anymore. But the morning had already changed shape. You know what I mean? It was still my morning, but it didn't quite fit right. I don't know when exactly my house stopped being mine. That's the thing about it. There's no single moment. It just accumulates. The television on too loud when I was trying to rest. The back door left unlocked. The throw blanket from my armchair ending up crumpled on the couch. My good couch. The one I've had since before he was born. He didn't mean it badly. That's what I kept telling myself. He doesn't mean it badly. I had a doctor's appointment that March. She's a good doctor, direct, doesn't talk around things. She sat me down and said she wanted to talk about my blood pressure. Said the numbers had been climbing. Said stress was the most common cause at my age, and asked if anything had changed at home. I said no, nothing's changed. I drove home thinking about that. When I got back, he was asleep on the couch. 2 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. The throw blanket was over him. There were crumbs on the cushion he wasn't using. A bowl on the coffee table with something dried at the bottom. I stood in the doorway for I don't know how long. I wasn't angry. That's the thing I remember most. I wasn't angry. I was just very quiet inside, like something had finally settled. I thought about my morning. Every morning, coming downstairs and washing dishes that weren't mine, moving quietly through my own house so I wouldn't wake someone who had nowhere to be. I thought about the back door. I thought about the throw blanket. I thought, Vera, when is the last time you sat in your own armchair? I didn't wake him up. I went to the kitchen, put the kettle on, sat at my table and looked out at the backyard, which needs work, always needs work, but it's my yard. The fence on the left side has been leaning for 3 years, and I've been meaning to call someone about it and haven't. And somehow even that felt like mine in a way that the rest of the house hadn't in a while. I sat there until he woke up on his own. That fence has been leaning since the fall before last. Wind took it sideways during a bad week of storms. I called a man about it, a neighbor's son, does odd jobs, and he came and looked at it and said he'd be back with materials. That was 14 months ago. I stopped expecting him around month 3. I don't mind, truly. I've gotten used to looking at that fence. Sometimes I think I'd miss it if someone fixed it. It's become part of how the yard looks to me now. The leaning fence, the bird feeder with the paint gone, the patch of ground on the right side where I used to have a garden and then didn't, and now the grass has come back, so you'd never know. There's a whole history in a backyard if you sit still long enough. I sat there that afternoon and looked at all of it. The kettle went off. I didn't move right away, just sat there another minute. Let the yard be the yard. We talked that evening. I kept it plain. I told him I needed my house back. I said it just like that. I need my house back. He got quiet. Then he said he didn't have anywhere to go yet. I said I understood that, and he had 30 days, and I would help him think through his options. But 30 days was 30 days. He didn't take it well at first. Said some things. There was a version of me, the version from 10 years ago maybe, who would have walked it back. Who would have said, no, take your time, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't walk it back. He left on the 26th day, took his things, took the blanket. I let him have it, said goodbye at the door, and it wasn't warm exactly, but it wasn't nothing either. I watched his car go down the street, came back inside. The couch cushion was dented from the shape of him. I pressed it back, went around the house quietly, straightened things, put my reading glasses back on the side table where they belong, moved my armchair 6 inches to the left, back to where it was. Stood in the kitchen. I walked through every room, not looking for anything, just going through, the way you do after someone leaves, even when you're glad they're gone. The bathroom had a ring around the soap dish I hadn't noticed before. The window in the back bedroom, the one he'd been using, was open 2 inches. I closed it, straightened the curtain, stood there a moment looking at the bed, which was made more or less the way someone makes a bed when they know they're leaving and want to seem like they tried. I appreciated that. I'm not sure why, but I did. Came back down the stairs. 3rd step creaked the way it always does. I put my hand on the banister and just stood there on that step for a second. The house was quiet. Not the quiet of someone sleeping in it. The other kind. I put the kettle on again. I don't know why. I'd already had my tea. I just wanted to hear it. It's a small thing, a kettle. The click of it. The way the sound changes as the water starts to move. I stood there listening to it, and the house was just the house. That's all. Just the house. My next checkup, couple months later, she looked at my numbers and said, Vera, whatever you've been doing, keep doing it. Just like that. I didn't explain. I said I would. People ask me sometimes. My daughter, a neighbor, a woman at my church who knows a little about what happened. They ask me if I feel bad about it, if I think I was too hard on him. I still think about him. Wonder how he's getting on. Hope he's eating something besides what he was eating at my house. I'd send him something if I knew where to send it. But I'll tell you what I do know. I know what my kitchen smells like in the morning now. I know the sound my refrigerator makes at night when the house is quiet. I know the 3rd step on the stairs creaks, has always creaked, and it's a little company when I come down in the dark. Last week I moved the armchair to the window, just to try it. Sat there all afternoon with a book I've been meaning to finish for 8 months. Didn't finish it. Didn't matter. The yard light comes on at 6, a little early now that the days are longer. I watched it come on, had my tea, let the book sit in my lap. One time, years ago, someone asked me what I wanted out of my old age. I think I said something about my grandchildren, about staying healthy, about being useful. I wouldn't say that now. Now I'd say, I want the afternoons. Just the afternoons. The kettle, the chair by the window, the fence that needs fixing, that I'll get around to, the creak on the third step, the small ordinary things that are mine. I went and locked the back door just now, out of habit, that's all. Went back to my chair, sat down, listened to the house,